Hello Andro movie clip fans. In the vastness of space, one man's fight for survival captivates the world. Join us on a thrilling journey to Mars with astronaut Mark Watney, who finds himself stranded alone, fighting against the unforgiving elements of Mars in a desperate bid for survival. From the heart-stopping chaos of a violent dust storm to the breathtaking solitude of the Martian landscape, every moment is a pulse-pounding race against time as Watney battles to stay alive against impossible odds. NASA launches a daring rescue mission. Subscribe now for a pulse-pounding adventure that will keep you on the edge of your seat from start to finish. Let's get started. The film opens with a mesmerizing portrayal of the vastness of space as NASA launches its third manned mission to Mars, the Ares 3. We're introduced to the crew, a diverse and highly trained group of astronauts led by the seasoned Commander Melissa Lewis. Among them is Mark Watney, the mission's botanist and mechanical engineer, whose sharp wit and resourcefulness endear him to his crewmates. As they embark on their journey to the Red Planet, the anticipation and excitement of their mission are palpable, underscored by the grandeur of the cosmos stretching out before them. Against the breathtaking backdrop of the Martian landscape, the Ares 3 crew begins their research on the surface of Mars. However, their mission takes a perilous turn when an unexpected and violent dust storm engulfs their habitat. In the chaos of the storm, Watney is struck by flying debris and presumed dead as his vital signs vanish from telemetry. Faced with the impossible choice of leaving him behind or risking the lives of the entire crew, Commander Lewis makes the gut-wrenching decision to evacuate and return to their orbiting spacecraft, Hermes. The scene transitions to Watney, who regains consciousness amidst the devastation of the Martian storm. Alone and injured, he confronts the harsh reality of his situation. With limited supplies and communication equipment damaged beyond repair, Watney must rely on his ingenuity and resourcefulness to survive. Drawing on his expertise as a botanist and engineer, he sets about transforming the barren Martian landscape into a makeshift habitat, where every breath is a battle for survival. As the days turn into weeks, Watney's tenacity and resourcefulness are put to the test as he confronts one challenge after another. From jury-rigging equipment to extracting water from the Martian soil, Watney's ability to adapt and innovate becomes his greatest asset in the fight for survival. He sits down to make a video log, where he outlines the situation. He's alive, but he can't contact Earth or Hermes. It'll be 4 years before the next manned mission is launched, and with the food supply in the habitat meant for him and the other 5 crew members, he has almost a year's worth of food, or a little longer if he rations. Therefore, Watney determines that he has to grow 3 years' worth of food on a planet where nothing grows. Luckily for him, he's a botanist and devises a plan to grow potatoes. At NASA in Houston, Texas, Sanders has just returned from a memorial service for Mark Watney, where he spoke about Watney's dedication to exploration. Mars mission director Vincent Kapoor, Chiwetel Ejiofor, talks to Sanders about getting satellite time to locate Watney's body. Sanders refuses on the grounds that the satellite feeds are public and broadcasting pictures of Watney's corpse would be a political and budgetary disaster for NASA. Later, engineer Mindy Park, Mackenzie Davis, meets with Kapoor after she discovers evidence of activity in satellite photos of the Ares 3 site. Low-resolution images apparently taken in a routine flyby. The solar panels have been cleaned and the rover has moved. They bring in Sanders and Director of Media Relations Annie Montrose, Kristen Wiig, to show them that Watney is still alive. 7 months pass on Mars. Watney has lost a lot of weight, has grown a lot of facial hair, and his teeth are rotting. He's started losing hope in his survival and rescue. He records a video log asking Commander Lewis to let his parents know of his fate. NASA sends him instructions to make extensive modifications to the rover, which Watney bemusedly performs. He packs up the rover and leaves the Ares 3 site, having spent 461 sols there, and heads for the Ares 4 MAV, which was dropped on Mars well ahead of the Ares 4 mission. It's a 3,200-kilometer drive across a trackless and inhospitable Martian landscape. He stops every day for 13 hours to sleep and recharge the rover's batteries with solar panels. During his excursion, he reasons that Mars is legally international waters, that is, it's subject to maritime law because it can't be claimed by any country on Earth. As he has not gotten explicit permission from NASA to take the MAV, and cannot get permission until after taking off. Commandeering the MAV will make him a space pirate. He would like to be called Captain Blondebeard. Mark also pontificates about how he's the first person to see the Martian landscape that he travels across and seems to be quite in awe of it. After the Hermes has swung around Earth and collected the supplies, they travel back to Mars. NASA and the rest of the world watch with anticipation. With 12 minutes delay, no one on Earth can help by radio. Watney has to remove 5,000 kilograms of weight from the MAV to make it light enough to reach Hermes orbit. He jettisons most of the seats, all the navigation and control systems, and replaces the nosecone airlock, a crucial structural piece and the single heaviest component, with a tarp. Martinez, flying the MAV by remote control, launches Watney into orbit. The MAV comes up too low to reach the Hermes spaceship. Vogel constructs a quickly made sugar and oxygen explosive to blow the front hatch and cause escaping air to slow the huge ship down so they can match speeds and still get to Watney. Lewis herself decides to use the EVA MMA suit with a tether to reach Watney, but she can't get close enough. Watney punctures the palm of his glove to propel himself toward Lewis with the escaping air jet. Like Iron Man, he says gleefully. He has very little control, so he misses her. However, he runs into the tether, which his momentum causes to wind around himself and Lewis, and the crew is able to reel them in. Lewis announces to NASA that they have Watney, and people all over the world cheer. Crowds have gathered in Houston, Times Square, Beijing, and elsewhere, anxiously waiting to hear whether the rescue worked. The crew hugs Watney and jokes about the stench resulting from his lack of showering for many months. Back on Earth about 1 year later, Watney begins day one as an instructor to aspiring astronauts. He tells them of his struggle on Mars, confirming that he did in fact grow food using his own excrement, and humorously says he doesn't want to discuss that aspect of the mission again. He tells them that if things should go south for them, they can either accept their fate or start solving problems, because that's how you survive, by overcoming one problem after another. During the closing credits, we see the characters years later as they watch the launch of Ares V, in which Martinez is the commander. Kapoor, Montrose, Park, and Sanders watch from NASA along with Guoming and Zhu Tao. Henderson is retired and golfing with his son. Lewis watches at home with her husband, while Vogel is at home with his family. Beck and Johansson have gotten married and watch from the hospital with their new baby. Join us for more thrilling escapades and captivating stories from the far reaches of the cosmos. Subscribe now to stay tuned for our next interstellar odyssey, where the wonders of the universe await. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey, and until next time, keep looking up to the stars.